ngifuna ukuthi nje ngingekaqali indaba lamuhla nginikhumbuza ukuthi inkathi ngiqala le channel nganitshela ukuthi mina angizwani nendaba ama-Facebook nendaba yey'nwele yingakho ngimane ngaluka amagoda nje ngaza la bese ngagcobisa ivaseline ngaza anginathi isikhathi sokuthi lokho ngihlezi iphathi ngidwebe amashiya awe mangeke cela ngixolele kodwa-ke ngizoza-ke ngizokunika yona i-content ninganako ubuso lokulilalele la iphimbi lami ukuthi ngithini lalelani izwi lami nomlayezo lo uNkulunkulu anginike wona ukuthi angizonitshela ngawo. Welcome to my channel bethuna igama lami Ndukuzinhle Limba. Thank you so much for joining me. I want to thank each and every one of you who has subscribed, and to the people that have not subscribed, please do subscribe and share my videos. I hope that you enjoy this video and find it helpful and informative. So on today's video, I want to be talking about my personal or my toxic traits, because in the world that we live in, we are so quick to label people as toxic, yet we don't take the time to look into ourselves and find toxic traits. So I hope that by me identifying and pointing out my toxic traits, that will help you to reflect on ubana wena, because we are so easy to throw stones kwabanye abantu ngelo xesha thina qala sinezinto zethu. You understand? So I'm here to highlight mine and also to share how I healed through those how I managed to change or to redefine who I was, and how I managed to move away from being the toxic Z that maybe other people know me as. You know, in our lives, there is a period where we are isolated from the people we love and from the things that we enjoy doing. There is that period. And in most times, you are being excluded. You are being excluded by friends. You are being excluded by family. You are being excluded by colleagues. You understand? And then you try to find, why am I not fitting in? That is the period where God wants to speak with you. That is the period where God wants to tell you new things. That is a period where God wants to reveal himself. But because you are so used to having these people, you end up lingering. Instead of saying, you know what, let me just move back and sit with myself, you know. There is power in isolation. There's rebirth in isolation. There's redefining in being isolated. So moving forward, embrace the time when you are isolated, because it is a time where God wants to speak with you. Xa ufuna uthetha nomuntu nihamba ne-toilet uthethe okanye uyamhlebezela, you know, okanye uthi mamela nje ngifowuni yakho umtextele. When you want someone's attention, you want that asuke kwabanye abantu. So that is exactly what God does. Ubhekelisa the people that you love so that it can have a time to speak with wena. Ne? Okay, so as I had mentioned on the previous video, after a drinking problem, drama revolve around my drinking, I decided to take a step back and reflect. So I'm gonna share the 5 toxic traits that I discovered. 1, it was anger. 2, it was lying. 3, it was manipulation. 4, it was venting. 5, which is the biggest one, was my insecurities. Now, when you are isolated, you need to be honest and open to discovering who you really are, to discovering the ugly truth about wena. Because we have a very few number of people about honest about mamela wena. unengxaki ethile nethile. So xa uhleli wedwa ke ngoku funeke uzixelele into yobana funeke ndinyaniseke. And then once I discovered bana ndinezi 5 toxic traits, I had to think bana what caused them. When it comes to anger, bendilagele engafuna uqala, lagele ungonqeniyo ukulwa, lagele isilephayo, lagele umsindo lapha empumlweni. Like when someone said something and upsetayo, ndiyakhawuleza ndiyamoya because andifuna uqala. That was me. And I think that came from izinto that were happening in my life. During that time, I lost abantu that raised me. During that time, I had family betraying me. During that time, I had family turning their back on me. So zonke ezi zinto made me bitter, but I did not take note of my feelings at the time. But it reflected on my interactions with abanye abantu because I would snap. So I had to like look back and actually start telling the people that I had a problem with, no, but no, I don't like it. I felt disappointed when you did this. I started learning to be honest with the people that abandiseka buhlungu. I also learned that I can't have everyone on my side. So I walked away from people that took from my emotional bank because I did not want to be uzinhle on anger. That was not me. So I prayed about it and I also spoke about my feelings more instead of trying to portray those strong that's not affected by the things that are happening around you. Because putting a facade, yobana, you are strong, is one step into turning yourself into a toxic person. Yes, you might have strength, but, okay, yes, you might be strong, but you are a person who have emotions. You can't act as if everything that's happening around you doesn't affect you. As much as people are giving you compliments on how strong you are, but when deep down, you know, Indobana, you want to be babied. So I had to be in touch with my feelings and realize, Indobana, I'm taking my anger out on the wrong people. I need to stop being uzinhle on the anger. The lying and the manipulation came when I was drunk, because when I was sober, I would be told what I had done. I would be told what I had said. And it was so embarrassing and it was so disappointing because I did not understand where that came from. And abantu would be like, but kaloku, these are the things mhlawumbe uzicinga xa sober, but then they just slip out. And it was not the case. I could not even, I could not understand where or make sense of where those things came from. Then that's when I decided I needed to tone down on the alcohol so that I can be accountable for my actions, so that I can know what is it that I say, you know? Because clearly, uzinhle onxilileyo nozinhle sober are two different people. Another thing that we maybe don't regard as being toxic is the venting. You know, when you are venting, you are basically releasing your anger. You are basically, you want someone to listen to when yo, this is how I feel. No problem, yam. If I had a problem with a certain friend, I was not strong enough to address the problem that I had with that particular friend. I would rather find another friend. Then dibuye dibe right naloo ndine problem naye because it feels good. I have released my anger. But that is toxic. We need to understand that venting can also be gossiping, because now it comes across as if you are gossiping your other friend, you know? And you are not doing that, but that's the message that you are actually giving out. And you know, with the person that you are venting to, because now they know too much, they start having an attitude towards the other person. And then udibane neetshomi zakho zingavani because kaloku omnye disgusted by their behavior. You understand? So now realize, but no man. I need to learn to work on my communication skills. I needed to, instead of me venting komnye umntu, I needed to address the problem that I had with lo mntu ne-problem naye uba mamela buddy, mamela tshomi, I did not like when you did 1, 2 and 3, and it made me feel 1, 2 and 3. So at least now you can move forward knowing that you've said how you felt, you were honest without involving other parties, you know. So that is something that works for him now. But the downfall is that not everyone is going to receive feedback the same way. Omnye umntu uzoqumba for you being honest. Omnye umntu akazukwazi uba transparent by how they really feel. And into ezinjeyana, they ruin friendships. So we need to also understand that being honest can actually chase people away. And being honest can maybe offend people, you know, but it's still important for you to be honest. That's something that I've learned. The biggest insecurity that I had, or the biggest toxic trait that I had was insecurities. I'm an Salamans. Insecurities, guys. Insecurities, bethuna. Those yabona insecurities, it's one thing enokwenza lose people that are good for you. Like insecurities are the worst. They are one enemy, your progress. They are a wall for you to grow. Insecurities, guys, and I was very insecure about a lot of things. Like, one, my biggest insecurity was when it comes to love. I'm not talking about romantic love. I'm talking about generally receiving love from people. Because I was so insecure, I could not allow myself to receive love and kindness. When someone was kind to me, or when someone loved me, I questioned their intentions. Bana, kuteni friend ka? Why is she or why is he being so kind? I was not maybe used to being treated with kindness. I was used to giving kindness, but I was not used to receiving kindness. I'm not sure if that is if that makes sense. But money, I would not allow myself, because that one, if I'm kind, treat as a charity case, and I would ask myself, what is it that I need to offer? It was something that that has everything. When I was asking how are you gonna give this person kindness, because they have everything together. I did not see myself dingena puzzle, because kaloku ingathi yonke into sorted kuye, and I didn't want to be a charity case. That is toxic, Betona. Then I had to speak to myself, but you know what? You are worthy. You can receive kindness from people. What you just need to do when is to understand that in life there's different seasons. This person might not necessarily need monetary or materialistic kindness, ne? But zikhona izinto that you can help out with. Zikhona izinto that you can teach this person. You understand? Mhlawumbi isizini yakho to help when it comes to money and other things is not now. Maybe later on in life, this person will need help from wena. And actually, there's nothing wrong with just receiving kindness, you know? Because now, I needed to understand, people can just be kind, people can just be loving without having any other motive or any other intentions. Another thing that made me very insecure was my background. I come from a family that's uneducated. I come from a family that does not have money. I come from a family engathathi ntweni. This affected me so much because xa kukho abantu abanezinto, I would feel small without them making me feel small. But because I have these insecurities, I would feel small. I would question, what am I doing here? You know, if people had qualifications, I would be like, I'm just a call center agent. I'm just a first year student teaching. So, where I weighed down and looked down on myself. That was me. I was so insecure. Like insecurities, uthi ukhona transport emsebenzini uyodropha abantu kwindawo ezirayithi xa kuzodrotshwa nqondo ngosenantloni. Those were my insecurities. When I got invited in prestigious or luxurious places, I felt out of place even though I was good at hiding it. You know, that is toxic because you now understand where it comes from, but it's still toxic. But Miss Universe, ebetheni last year, uthi occupy spaces. Let's cement ourselves in these spaces, you know. So I had discovered ke loo nto before uzozibini atsho, because iBhayibhile ithi uThixo uyawukwenza utye neenkosi. I will eat with kings, you know. Now I have no problem rubbing shoulders with people in good places, in people in high positions, because there's a reason why our paths are crossing. I don't question if I belong in those spaces. Like ndiyaya, and I don't have the poverty at the back of my mind. I don't have the struggles at the back of my mind. I just appreciate being where I am. Another part that made me very insecure were my looks. Like growing up, igama lam ndinguzinhle. Like xa ndichaza uba like ubuze ungubani igama lakho, ndimake ndinguzinhle. Ubone umuntu udisappointed uba wena unguzinhle, abantu basisile. Uqonda uba at some point ndathi kumama, mama ndifuna utshintsha igama lam ndiye kuba nguzinhle, ndibe nguLinda, ndizawuba nguLinda Limba, iyarayima. I think it was because I felt ugly, you know, and having high cheekbones, it was one thing. You know, and like the friends we have, sometimes they contribute in our insecurities or low self-esteem. Because I remember, when you told me I'm what to go, yo, I'll say I'm zinhle, ndisafakele soft red. And you told me I'm a sketch, how do you say that? So that like was engraved apha kum ubana ndimhle xa ndifakele. Hence ke ngoku indim namancanca lamhlanje, because I don't care. And this other time ngosasibadala ke ngoku usisi that I was a mentor, a woman that I look up to, wathi kum, man, besuppose uba uzinhle ngulo itshomi yakho not wena. Yebethuna. So I felt uba ndingulo mntu umbi, and ke ngoku mna I was ndikhule ndingulo utyebileyo, like guys didn't notice me. So when I lost weight and started feeling pretty and all of that, when guys noticed me, I was like, noba kajonganga mna, bone umuntu akujonge ndijonge kude okanye ndisele loo nto ndiyiselayo. Because I could not believe that they were noticing me, because kaloku I've always been, or I've always thought ubana ndingulo zintle umbi. So those were my insecurities when it comes to beauty. And like noba ndinjani, I love my body. I don't care anymore about what people say. Kumele utitele. Uthi yebo, I have high cheekbones. So what? You know? Actually, Tyra, these are good for smizing. You know? So it was like so many things that made me very insecure. And the last insecurity that I want to speak about were relationships. Like, good relationship, like, Dandy was going to aim for the ugly guys because I felt like they would treat me better. So, flames. So, I would choose abantu that I was like, umbilo no so right for him, you know, I would settle. I did not, because on my, like in my previous relationship, I was cheated on numerous times with various types of women. I felt like I'm not good enough to make a man happy, that any man is gonna cheat on me. After honeymoon phase, things go south. So I then made a point yobana ndiyangena relationship, then ndizixelele uba eventually wethu I was negative uba izawuphela uzandijolela naye, izawuphela wethu uzandijolela naye, because I felt like I'm not worthy. I felt like any man cheats. I felt like I'm not enough to make a man happy. But now I've realized bana ngiyintombi zinhle, yezwa, sho ukuthi mina konke nje engikwenzayo kuhle, akusho mina kusho igama lami, igama lami ngawuphawu ubaba wami. Ngacabanga ukuthi hawu inkosazana enhle kanje. Yes, there's this woman that I go to church with. Mengibiza uthi muhle muhle, mengibiza uthi inkosazana, mengibiza uthi wena sebukhosini, lokho nje kuzimane kwakhuphula my confidence. I now realize bana there's more to me than my looks, there's more to me than my background, there's more to me than what I have. God has blessed me with a great aura. God has blessed me with a great mind. So if a man doesn't see what I bring to the table, then I'm not ready to date that person. I am not going to allow myself to be cheated on. I will not allow any man to do as they please with my body, with my being. I learned to respect and value who I am. So all these things, zizinto ezizi insecurities, but zizinto that I've managed to organize, zizinto toxic, but zizinto that I've managed to turn around. During the period when I was away from people, I had to admit and acknowledge that I was the problem. Sometimes you need to look and realize, Nobana, you are the problem. You can't keep on pointing at everyone else but yourself. You know, guys, eBhayibheleni uyona wathi xa ekhwele enqanaweni that he was not supposed to be in. Inqanawe yashukuma, inqanawe yacaba ngoba yozozelisa welala phezantsi. But then I realized, but you know what? Kusenzeka le nto nje is because of me. How about nivesikele ndijule elwandle? Wajula elwandle wagwinya iwhale. Phakla whale. He then discovered his strength. God spoke with him when he was there. By the time waphuma wayekwenza le nto uThixo amthume yona. So in my isolation, I discovered my purpose. I discovered who I was. And then I learned to appreciate love. I learned to appreciate kindness. I learned my worth. I learned to let go of my past. Healing is a process that is sacred, a process that is sensitive, a process that is dark, a process that is empty, yet it is a process that is necessary in order for you to grow. So if you are honest with who you are, you will discover your purpose. If you're honest with who you are, you will be able to go back and apologize to the people that you did wrong. Because in that process, I discovered I was not as innocent as I thought I was. I was not as nice as I thought I was. And the hardest thing, was forgiving myself. Abanye abantu forgave me, but I was struggling to forgive myself, and I was struggling to let the friends that I had lost go. I wanted to overcompensate. I wanted to bring them back into my life, but God just did not open that door for me. Walivala, which was hurtful. But uThixo wandipha abanye abantu. Abantu that loved me for who I was. Abantu that loved me with my mistakes, but abantu that would not tolerate my crap. So then now I'm at a better space, and I hope that this video has helped you identify your personal toxic traits, and I hope this video has made you understand who I am. And yeah, that's the whole point, to say that healing is a messy process, but it is a necessary process. sengiqedile manje. Uma ngabe uyayithanda le video ngicela ukuthi usubscribe. Uma ngabe uyithandile ngicela ukuthi uyishare khona ukuze abanye abantu bazobona lana. Mhlambe kunabanye abantu abadinga ukuthi basizwe ukuthi baphume ezimeni abakuzo. So kuningi nje ngifuna ukusharisha nani, kuningi engifuna unitshela khona. So ngicela nje ukuthi nisebenzise your social media platforms ukuthi nitshengise abantu ukuthi uzinhle kunento ayenzayo lapha ku YouTube. Thank you for everything. Please go give me feedback. I would really appreciate that. So please like, comment, subscribe. So plan next time. Bye bye in between.